Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to our webinar, Better, Faster, Easier IBM Backups, how to transform your backup operations for IBM Power Systems, IBM AIX, and Linux. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Solutions here at Electronic Storage Corporation. We are IBM registered business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. We've been in business for over 30 years as a software developer located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So here at our Tulsa home office, we have our own programming staff and also our own technical support and customer service staff. So today's webcast, we're just going to do an overview of how to transform your IBM backup and recovery. So this is going to be we're going to talk about a simple transition from manual tape. Continuing to use your existing backup and restore procedures, commands, CL programs, BRMS, robot save, etc. Manage backups without being on site with your IBM iServer. Run multiple backups at one time with multi-thread capability. So we want these backups to run quite a bit faster than your current tape backups. So our solution has ways in which you can do that. Incorporate deduplication and replication. This is going to reduce storage costs of your backups, your current retentions, and also strengthen your disaster recovery since you're able to replicate backups and keep two copies, a second copy offsite, cloud storage, whatever the case might be. So when we talk about a simple transition from manual tape, what we're talking about is a way for you to emulate tape and save to disk. So that is done through LaserVault on a server with the LaserVault Vital software, and that is connected fiber channel or SAS to the IBM I server, just like you would connect an external tape device or tape library. So this makes transitioning from a tape backup to a virtual tape backup where your process is exactly the same. Your restores are the same. Full system saves, full system restores, things like that. Now you can still save your backups to manual tape and restore backups from manual tape if you're needed. Lots of folks still have their tape device connected to their IBM I, but their primary backup solution, faster than tape, easier than tape, more automated, is going to be using disk and LaserVault Vital. So use your current IBM backup commands, CL programs, BRMS, robot save. So you can see that virtual tape will work exactly the same as tape in terms of using any of the go save commands. So you're going to get, with this capability, reduce the frequency of having to manually manage, store, transport tapes. So this is going to result in a significant time savings for your systems and IT personnel and administration. And virtual tape can also be used again with robot and BRMS, so you have a completely automated backup solution. So whether you're using just the go save commands or you're using this as a tape library with backup management software, you're going to have the ability to automate your backups to where you're not having to manage tapes, which is a manual process. This will be completely automated. So you can manage your backups without having to be on site, right? So first of all, backups are automated, no changing out of tapes, which requires you to go to the data center and do that either on a daily or weekly basis, depending on if you're using a tape library or not. So this gives you the ability. Also, this gives you all of your tapes online. So if you have a set of tapes that have been moved out of the library or out of the drive that are stored off site, in order to restore that data, of course, you've got to get the tapes. In this particular case, you'll have all of your tapes available online to restore from. So LTO tape compared to LaserVault Vital backup speeds. So this is pretty important for our customers because of the fact that it can go faster than physical tape, and you can see the differences in the LTOs. And then we have Vital on the far right side there, where up to 850 megasecond, which is about almost 3 terabytes an hour. Okay, tape backups without tape. So here we have two vital backup appliances. These appliances are servers with disk storage. We'll talk about other options for disk storage of your backups. SAS or fiber channel. Fiber channel does support NPIV, meaning that if you require multiple tape devices, virtual tape devices for multiple partitions and parallel saves, things like that, you can have up to 64 virtual tape devices per physical fiber channel connection, which could be 8 gig fiber channel, 16 gig, or 32 gig fiber channel. SAS is typically on the LaserVault server, 12 gig SAS connection. So save to your backup appliance, replicate to that appliance, whether the data is deduplicated or simply compressed, but it's going to make automated copies to a DR site where you have a second appliance to store another copy of your backups. And then, of course, you can also copy to tape, whether you copy to tape that's connected to LaserVault or you use your existing tape drive that's on your IBM I and do dupe tape or dupe media BRM. So the ability to automate your backup and recovery process, we're going to strengthen and simplify data protection. Replication is completely automated, whether you're replicating to a DR appliance at another location, cloud storage, or even both. So we're going to look like all the virtual tapes are going to be tape media to the IBM I. It doesn't know the difference whether it's a physical tape or a virtual tape. SAS or fiber channel is a connection. Multiple, again, with fiber channel, you can do up to 64 virtual devices per fiber channel port. Also, when you do it, one thing to also note when you do set this up, and I'll show you this in a quick demo, is how many slots that you can create for all your virtual tapes. So here we talk about incorporating deduplication and maximize your storage, also to leverage storage. So you may already have a SAN or NAS or deduplication appliance where you could leverage those backup systems or that storage for your backups, not having to purchase additional storage. So Vital LaserVault becomes a gateway to that storage. So you'd have a from the LaserVault Vital server, which we would call a gateway server. It's going to have either a fiber channel connection or over Ethernet or a 10 gig or more connection to that storage. So that means LaserVault doesn't require any storage on the LaserVault server. It's a gateway. We're just going to pass the data right on to the storage. And we work with several deduplication products: Rubrik, Cohesity, Quantum, Data Domain, NetApp, Exagrid, and there's others too that we have customers that use. Now we do have built-in data deduplication. It's called bdupe. So if you're looking for handling your IBM I data with a complete data deduplication system, encryption, and also replication to cloud or DR site or both, LaserVault can offer all of that in one appliance. So some additional features that really make this product unique is a multi-thread feature. So we can write backups quite a bit faster. So even though you're saving to one virtual tape, we can actually write the data to multiple files at the same time. So this is a multi-thread feature, especially maybe if you're saving to a deduplication or backup appliance that is a multi-node cluster. We can spread out that load across multiple nodes, such as Cohesity and Rubrik. Also, having your tapes virtually unlimited number of tape slots. So for each virtual tape library, you can have over 16,000 slots to store your tapes, whether you're using it as a tape device or a tape library. This gives you the ability to instantly restore something, instantly start a restore of something, because all of your tapes are available. All your dailies, weeklies, monthlies, annual saves are always available for auditing purposes and restore purposes at any time that you need them. So Also an auto feature for archiving purging. So if you're needing a way to manage the retention of your backups in your virtual tapes, LaserVault can do that. Of course, if you're using BRMS or Robot Save, that will do that for you automatically. And then for replication and retention, LaserVault has an email notification for you to customize that so you get email notifications of those jobs. Protect feature, make sure that your tapes cannot be deleted or changed. And this can be, the protect feature can be secured via username and password. Replication. So here we can talk about replication to cloud storage. We currently have built-in settings for replication that I'm going to show you in the demo. So this gives you the ability to store a copy to cloud storage, whether it's Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure, Wasabi. And then also utilizing a SAN or NAS for storage, where we're connecting to the storage and we're a gateway connection. And you can either, with Fiber Channel, if you're directly connected, that's fine. You can directly connect with 16 gig, 8 gig, 32 gig, or you can connect via switch. Okay, so let's take a look at a quick demo. This is our web interface. This is primarily used to configure the system, configure your tape libraries, configure where the storage is located, whether it's local disk on a LaserVault Vital server or it's network attached storage. This gives you a quick rundown of what's going on in terms of what's running. The emulator's running. We've got configured for 8 or 1,000 tape slots. Again, that can go up to 16,000. Let's go to libraries and edit. So when you first set up LaserVault, we're going to give a library name, corresponds to this over here, or tape device, or tape library. And then auto config, if you have that turned on your IBM I system, once this is set up and running, then auto config will automatically configure this as a new tape device or tape library in your system. This is your path where your backups are stored, whether it's local disk on a server or it's a share path on network storage. Export path, this gives you the ability to take a tape and move it from the tape library or tape device in a slot to another storage location, such as cloud storage, external disk, but it does move the tape out of inventory, but you can always move that tape back to the library and do a restore. We emulate from LTO2 all the way to LTO8. None of these have a storage limit on them. So full backup could always fit on one tape, whether it's a terabyte or 100 terabytes, can be stored on one tape. Also, these don't, the speeds are the same on all of these. The number of storage slots, so we have 48. You can always increase that to more storage slots anytime that you need more tapes. This is where we do the multi-thread process. So you can see we've got this set to 8, meaning that when you run a save to a virtual tape, that tape is mounted, data is being written, but it's being written to multiple files, 8 files, and that can go as high as 32. So when you first set this up and you run a test backup, you can do 8, see how fast that is. 16 might be faster. And so you can change those during test backups to see what gets you the highest speed. Write cache is for backup speed. 16, you could run it with 16 meg a cache. So this is how much data is written to cache before it's written to disk. And that's a multi-thread process as well. Read cache is for restore speed. Restores are quite a bit faster with virtual tape as opposed to physical. LaserVault can go right to an object that you're restoring on the tape file and start the restore. So that means the restore begins immediately as opposed on tape when it's streaming through the tape to locate that object. Compression, that averages 5:1. Deduplication, that can average anywhere from 12:1 as high as 40:1 depending on the data. Production data typically dedupes less than, say, test or development partitions. So this can be run on any of your partitions, on any of your backups, but it does reduce your backups quite a bit. So if you just did standard compression, you're 4 or 5:1. Deduplication, your minimum is 12:1 on deduplication of compressed data. And that is block level deduplication. So even your IFS, say you're storing PDFs in the IFS, PDF files, scanned in documents, those will be deduped. Encryption. So you can set encryption. So you can do this and this, your encryption key. So all of the data itself will be encrypted. When you replicate either to cloud storage or to a DR site or both, the data will be encrypted as it's being replicated. It is encrypted, written, and then it will be replicated, and it will remain encrypted and reside encrypted at the DR site or the cloud storage. Replication and retention. So you can set any of these options like we're going to go to network path, which would be a second LaserVault server to replicate from your production site to your DR site. Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure. So those would be replication configs that are set to go to cloud storage. So if we take a look at this, you can set here which volumes you want to apply this replication and retention. If you're not using BRMS or Robot Save, you may use these retention options to set your retention on tapes for your weeklies, monthlies, dailies, yearlies, and so forth. And if you're using BRMS or Robot Save, you probably wouldn't set any local retention or remote retention since those products will expire a tape and initialize it for you automatically. And since this is emulating a tape library, it's auto load and load of tapes. They're virtual tapes, but they get automatically loaded during a backup, automatically loaded during a restore. So we can enable replication, we can set the path, we can still replicate all volumes or the most recent volumes. We can do notifications here and an email address to send those replication and retention notification emails. Set local retention based on age or number of volumes. So if this is daily volumes, we would say how many of those dailies we want to keep for the most recent. Those can be initialized or deleted once they expire. Remote replicate or remote retention, this can be done based on age, number of volumes. So if you did want to set a different retention for a particular tape that's been replicated to the target, then you can set that different than what it is on local retention. This is replication. So again, we have the cloud storage properties for an Amazon S3 account. So this would be object storage on Amazon S3. And there's also Azure and Wasabi. And if you're using or plan to use a different cloud storage provider, you can do it as a path, or we can set up the properties on another option here for another cloud provider if that's required. There's Azure, and you can, for Azure, it has hot, cool, and archive, depending on how quickly you need to get the data on a restore. And then Wasabi. Also, you can define security So here we have these groups, and there are users that belong to these groups with their own login credentials. And those login and those access based on a user that's a member of this group has the capability of doing these features. So you can set security on the access within this interface. And then here we can look at tape library, where we can see all of our tapes available. Can be compressed, encrypted, replicated, copied, even copied to tape and stored off-site. And when we talk about, in the face of, ransomware, viruses, things like that, I mean, the most immutable backup is really cloud storage is a good immutable backup solution where you have the ability to, with the cloud storage recovery. Tape is also a good option where you can write to disk, replicate to a DR site, and make a copy to tape and store that off site, which is really the most immutable backup for ransomware and so forth. Because just about, and so that would be, you have the ability, because you have multiple copies of your backup, in order to protect your data and make it more recoverable because it is protected. So back on the over on the IBM side, I'll do a work MLB status. There's my LaserVault tape library with a tape device. Or we have this TAP v2. So if you're not currently using a physical tape library, you can set it up just to be as a tape device instead of a tape library if you want. Some other features here, we can move a tape into a drive using the move option. Since we are admin, we can delete a tape. We can export a tape, which moves it to this path. The import button is here to bring back tapes that have been exported. Protect and unprotect, we have the ability to do that here as an admin login. Click on labels and you can see all the libraries. And to say this is like doing a display tape. Sequence, size, on all the libraries that are in, or all the libraries that are in that particular tape. Create tapes is here. Create multiple tape images. You can go ahead and initialize those. So anytime you need to create additional tapes, you can go here, add more slots, create more tapes. And then this is what you would do if you were using BRMS. You'd create all your tapes and then add those into BRMS. So if you can imagine having everything available to restore from, how much more quickly you could do that restore if you need the data, because all your tapes are available within LaserVault, stored on disk. Okay, so we looked at virtual tapes. So we've got in our GoToMeeting panel some documents you can download. These are handouts. This is also recorded, and we'll be posting this on our YouTube channel and emailing that out, that link. LaserVault.com. You can check out our website and also IBM Global Solutions Directory. For a demo, you can simply contact us via info@laservault.com. If you'd like to receive a $50 Amazon gift card, if you'd like to receive that once completing the demo, just add AGC50 in your email that you'd like to see a demo of the product. This is a great opportunity to talk about your IBM I backup environment, how many partitions you're saving, how much data that you're saving. So what we want to do is configure the correct number of SAS or fiber channel connections to meet the needs of the number of tape devices that you would want to use for your backups or need to use for your backups, as well as bandwidth. And then talk about storage. What options do you currently have for storage? Would you need storage? Because would you like to reduce your storage footprint with deduplication? And then we can talk about replicating backups, whether it's cloud replication or DR site, or it's required to replicate to tape. So a demo is a good opportunity for us to configure exactly what you need for a solution. So I really want to thank everyone for spending time with me today. We're doing a drawing for Bose Bluetooth earbuds after this, and the winner will be notified via email. So just information to contact us, info@laservault.com. Extension 101 is, or 1001 is my direct extension if you want to give me a call. If there's questions, there's a way to ask questions in the GoToMeeting webinar panel. If you want to ask any questions at this time, because we are completely finished. For installation and training, we can do remote or on-site. Majority of our installation and training is done remotely through a remote connection and over the phone, because the solution is very simple to install and configure. So most of those are done over the phone and remote connection. The difference between UBD and Vital, that's a very good question. UBD was basically the first version of our disk-to-disk backup solution for AS400. So the main difference is Vital emulates a tape library as well as a tape drive or a tape drive. So the Vital solution also has more replication features and retention features that you can configure within the interface. When we came out with the Vital solution, our goal was to emulate a tape library for BRMS and robot save users. So what we're doing is we've incorporated the UBD features within Vital. So if you want to continue to use the product like you're using UBD, or if you are using UBD, then those same features are available with Vital. So what we're doing is this allows us to maintain one set of code. So going from UBD to Vital, so we maintain Vital as the product that can do what UBD does, as well as emulate a tape library. So that's probably the main difference, is that Vital emulates a tape library, and it does have quite a bit more features than the UBD solution. Okay, looks like that no more questions at this time, so I appreciate everyone's time. Please let us know if we can help you out in virtual backup for IBM I. Thanks very much, and have a great afternoon.